Many people find that their balance is less reliable than it used to be, but the reason for this remains unclear. Perhaps a habit of holding onto walls when walking appears. Steps become shorter on uneven surfaces, or uncertainty arises before stepping off a curb. It's important to understand that this doesn't always start with a fall. Often, it's these minor moments that accumulate, turning a loss of confidence into a serious fear of falling. But there's one important point that many don't talk about. Balance doesn't disappear suddenly. In most cases, its deterioration is due to 5 common and quite preventable mistakes. However, once these mistakes are identified, you can stop the deterioration process and even restore lost stability. Next, we will examine these 5 mistakes and offer simple but effective solutions that will help you regain confidence in your movements. Regardless of age, these steps can be the deciding factor between cautious steps and a confident gait. The first mistake is neglecting the strength of the ankles and feet. Many believe that balance comes from the brain or depends on the stability of the core and hips. And while these areas are certainly important, the true starting point of balance, the feet and ankles, is often overlooked. These small but critical structures are the body's first line of defense against instability. Every time you have to walk on uneven terrain, step off an unexpected curb, or regain your balance after a misstep, your ankles act as rapid response stabilizers. They make micro-adjustments to your posture, absorb shocks, and send important sensory feedback to the brain, helping you stay upright. However, with age, there is a gradual loss of strength and mobility in the feet and ankles, and this is not due to inevitable decline, but to insufficient stimulation of these parts of the body. Modern shoes with thick soles reduce the need for natural foot engagement. Years of walking exclusively on smooth and predictable surfaces, such as parquet floors or sidewalks, cause the foot muscles to become less active. In addition, many avoid walking barefoot, which further weakens the complex network of muscles, tendons, and ligaments that should actively support the body. As a result, the ankles become stiff and unable to correct even minor imbalances, leading to increased instability, swaying movements, and, ultimately, an increased risk of falls. But what to do? What steps to take to avoid these consequences? The answers to these questions will be revealed later. Consider the case of George, 76 years old, my former colleague. Despite the absence of serious injuries and good vision, he began to stumble more often, complaining about the slow reaction of his legs. An assessment of his ankle mobility revealed significant limitations. His legs seemed to have fallen asleep due to years of neglect. However, just 2 weeks of simple exercises, including gentle circular movements of the feet to restore mobility, scrunching a towel with his toes to reactivate the arches of his feet, and toe raises for strengthening, noticeably improved his balance. George admitted that he never realized the importance of his feet and now feels them coming back to life. The reader can independently assess the strength of their feet and ankles by trying to stand barefoot and rise onto their toes. Does shakiness or difficulty maintaining balance occur? When trying to stand on one leg, do the ankles feel active and quickly adapting, or sluggish and unstable? If the latter is observed, this is a warning sign, a weakness in the foundation of balance, which will only progress without intervention. Fortunately, strengthening the feet and ankles does not require expensive equipment or complex procedures, but begins with awakening dormant muscles. Walking barefoot on various surfaces such as grass, sand, or a textured mat is recommended to stimulate sensory feedback. Rolling a tennis ball under the foot will help relieve tension and improve circulation. Daily calf stretches are necessary to maintain flexibility. It is important to practice slow, conscious movements, such as mindful walking or controlled heel-to-toe steps, which actively engage the legs rather than allowing them to passively rely on external support. Strengthening the feet and ankles brings benefits that extend far beyond balance. Posture improves, movements become smoother and more efficient, and recovery speed after slips or stumbles increases. Positive changes are noticeable in everyday actions, such as quick turns, sideways steps, or adapting to sudden changes in direction. Ignoring the strength of the feet and ankles may seem insignificant, but it is often the first step in a chain of balance deterioration. Strengthening these body parts allows the entire body to remain stable, confident, and resilient. The second common mistake that often goes unnoticed is the complete neglect of exercises aimed at developing a sense of balance. At first glance, this omission may not seem so significant. Many people tend to underestimate the importance of balance, not considering it a skill that requires constant practice and improvement. It is believed that the ability to maintain balance is something taken for granted, like breathing. But this opinion is mistaken. Balance is a complex mechanism that requires the coordinated work of muscles, joints, the inner ear, the visual system, and the nervous system. And like any other skill, if it is not trained, it is gradually lost. As people age, they become more cautious in their movements. They slow down their pace to avoid falls, try to avoid uneven surfaces, and give up the desire to reach high shelves or turn sharply. While such caution can prevent accidental stumbles, it can create a dangerous vicious circle in the long term. The less a person stimulates their balance system, the weaker it becomes. Muscles forget how to react quickly to changes in body position, and the brain receives fewer signals from underutilized nerve endings. Confidence in one's movements decreases, which leads to even greater hesitation and stiffness. A downward spiral forms. Linda, a 73-year-old woman the author worked with, very accurately noted this trend. I just try not to move too fast. When asked to perform simple balance exercises, such as standing with her feet close together or walking in a straight line, placing the heel of one foot close to the toe of the other, she was surprised at how unstable she felt. I didn't even realize I had lost this sense so much, she admitted. I thought I was just being careful, but I was actually making myself weaker. The solution to this problem is not to immediately start doing extreme balance exercises or risk performing dangerous stunts. It is important to start small, gradually and consistently adding exercises to your life that create slight instability in a controlled environment. For example, you can try standing on one leg while brushing your teeth, performing slow and smooth Tai Chi movements to improve coordination, or walking in a straight line, placing the heel of one foot close to the toe of the other, with your arms outstretched to the sides to maintain balance. Even simply standing with your feet together and closing your eyes for a few seconds can increase awareness of your body in space. These seemingly insignificant exercises not only strengthen muscles, but also restore the connection between the brain and the body. They retrain the nervous system to effectively adapt to changes, restore balance, and stabilize the body. Over time, this leads to the restoration of not only physical stability, but also self-confidence. A person with a good sense of balance moves confidently and gracefully. They easily pass through crowds without losing their balance, and without hesitation reach for objects that are high up. Most importantly, they trust their body and are confident that it will react appropriately at the right moment. Thus, neglecting balance training may seem like a safe decision in the short term, but in reality it is a silent thief that gradually deprives a person of agility, reaction speed, and independence. The antidote is to perform small exercises daily that challenge the sense of balance. After all, balance is not just the ability to hold the body upright. It is the ability to remain active, fearless, and free in one's movements for many years. The third common mistake that older people make is choosing inappropriate footwear at home, or not wearing any at all. This seemingly minor error is fraught with serious consequences that can dramatically change life. Walking around the house in inappropriate shoes or barefoot on slippery floors can lead to falls, fractures, and as a result, hospitalization, as well as loss of independence. The feet are the support of balance, natural stabilizers, and shock absorbers. This complex biomechanical mechanism, consisting of bones, joints, muscles, and nerve endings, ensures the vertical position of the body and the ability to move. Incorrect shoes, such as slippers without arch support, increase the risk of falls. The lack of traction, cushioning, and support deprives the feet of their basic functions, making a person vulnerable to slips and falls, especially on uneven surfaces, rugs, and changes in floor height. Take, for instance, the story of Jack, a 79-year-old retiree who didn't think much about footwear at home. For years, he walked around in socks until one evening, he slipped on a rug. He managed to catch himself by grabbing the doorframe. It was then he realized that socks didn't provide enough grip, and he was putting himself at risk just moving around his house. The problems caused by bad footwear go beyond just slipping. Shoes with thin, worn-out soles that lack cushioning can send too much impact to the joints with each step, which can make arthritis pain worse. Shoes that don't fit well or have slippery treads can cause the foot to slide around inside, making each step unsteady. At the same time, shoes with too much cushioning or even a small heel can be dangerous because they dull proprioception, the body's ability to sense its position in space, by weakening the foot's direct contact with the ground. This makes it harder for the brain to make the small adjustments needed to keep balance, especially when encountering unexpected obstacles or uneven surfaces. So, what kind of footwear provides reliable support and improves stability? The ideal shoes for preventing falls should have several key features. These include firm arch support to help align the foot correctly, a flat but flexible sole that allows natural foot movement while maintaining good contact with the ground, and high-quality non-slip treads that grip various surfaces. For outdoor wear, choose well-made sneakers or hiking boots from reputable brands known for their support and durability. For indoor use, consider specially designed non-slip slippers or shoes with secure fastenings. Avoid backless models or socks with silicone grips on the soles. It's important to understand that this isn't just about recommending shoes based on looks or comfort. It's about giving your feet the tools they need to do their job, keeping your body upright and allowing you to move. Choosing the wrong shoes, whether at home or outside, can slowly make you feel less steady, make your walk less stable, and increase the risk of falls. The right shoes, on the other hand, work with your body's natural balance systems, providing a stable foundation for safe and confident movement. This is one of the easiest but most effective changes you can make right away. Taking a close look at the shoes you wear can reveal important things that affect your balance and mobility. Make sure your shoes fit well, without being too tight or too loose. Good arch support is essential, as is a sole with enough tread to grip the surface. A flexible but supportive sole is key to comfortable and safe walking. If your shoes don't meet these criteria, consider replacing them soon. This may seem like a small thing, but upgrading your shoes can greatly improve your balance, reduce the risk of falls, and increase your overall mobility and independence. Relying too much on furniture or walls while walking is a common mistake that can weaken balance in older adults. This habit often develops gradually, as people start using furniture, walls, or other objects for support when moving around their homes. While this might seem safer, experts call this behavior false security, which only makes the problem worse over time and increases the risk of falls. Every time you grab a chair, lean against a wall, or steady yourself on a countertop, you're telling your body that you don't trust it to balance on its own. Repeating these actions starts a cycle. The less you use your natural balance mechanisms, the weaker they become. The muscles that help maintain stability, especially in the ankles, legs, hips, and core, gradually weaken from lack of use. The nerve pathways that coordinate balance and spatial orientation become less effective due to lack of practice. The story of 75-year-old Sarah vividly illustrates this pattern. After a minor fall a few years ago, she began to constantly use a cane, even for short distances within her home. At first, it was just for a sense of security, she shared. But over time, I realized that I had lost the ability to move from the living room to the kitchen without it. Initially intended as a temporary precaution, the cane became a permanent crutch, inevitably weakening her ability to maintain balance. Through a carefully designed exercise program aimed at restoring balance and gradually reducing reliance on assistive devices, Sarah was able to regain confidence in her abilities. The turning point was realizing that I was automatically reaching for the walls, even when it wasn't necessary, she recalled. Now I can move freely around the house and feel stronger than I have in years. The physiological consequences of excessive reliance on external objects are quite significant. Habitually using furniture or walls for balance actually shifts the work that our own musculoskeletal system should be doing to external sources. Postural muscles, which should automatically activate with each step, become less active, losing both strength and speed of reflexive reactions. At the same time, the vestibular system, responsible for balance and located in the inner ear, and the proprioceptive system, responsible for sensing the position of the body in space, receive less practice in interpreting subtle changes in weight, leading to a slowdown and decrease in the accuracy of their work. As a result, the body becomes less able to prevent falls during unexpected slips or stumbles. To assess your dependence on external supports, you can perform a simple test. Walk across a room or hallway without touching furniture or walls. Pay attention to your sensations. Do you feel confident, or does anxiety immediately arise? Do you have an involuntary urge to lean on something? If this exercise is difficult, it is a clear sign that the body has adapted to relying on external objects at the expense of its natural ability to maintain balance. The solution to this problem is to systematically reduce reliance on furniture and walls through gradual balance training. Start with exercises to stand without support for increasingly longer periods of time. In the early stages, you can stand for 30 seconds near a stable support that you can grab if necessary, gradually increasing the time to several minutes. Then you can try taking just 2 or 3 deliberate steps without touching anything, using the correct walking technique of rolling the foot from heel to toe. Gradually, over several weeks and months, you should increase the distance you can walk independently, always maintaining proper posture with your head up and shoulders back. This process involves both physiological and psychological aspects. On a physical level, strength is restored in those stabilizing muscles that were previously neglected, and balance reflexes controlled by the nervous system are retrained. Psychologically, the fear of falling is overcome, confirming to oneself that the body still has the ability to maintain stability. Many older adults are surprised at how quickly they regain confidence and the ability to control their bodies once they start regularly performing movements without support. It is important to emphasize that this does not mean abandoning the use of assistive devices prescribed for medical reasons. Rather, it is about not replacing natural balance abilities with the constant use of external supports. With patience and systematic training, most older adults can significantly reduce their reliance on furniture and walls for stability, which will lead to improved posture, a stronger core, and a significant reduction in the risk of falls. The fifth common mistake, often underestimated, that contributes to balance problems in older adults is related to insufficient attention to eye health and inner ear function. Many people do not realize that maintaining balance is not just a matter of leg strength or coordination. It is an extremely complex process that integrates information from various sensory systems, among which vision and the inner ear play a key role. With age, natural changes in the visual system can have a significant impact on balance. The pupils become smaller and less sensitive to changes in lighting. The lens of the eye yellows and loses its elasticity, and the light-sensitive cells of the retina undergo degenerative changes. These changes lead to decreased visual acuity, impaired depth perception and contrast sensitivity, and a reduced field of peripheral vision. All of these factors are critical for safe ambulation. When the eyes cannot promptly detect obstacles on the floor, accurately judge the height of steps, or quickly adapt to changes in lighting, such as moving from a brightly lit room to a dark hallway, the brain does not receive sufficient and accurate spatial information necessary to maintain balance. The inner ear, where the vestibular system is located, which plays a key role in maintaining balance, undergoes degenerative changes with age. This complex structure, consisting of fluid-filled canals and sensitive hair cells, is responsible for perceiving head movements and its position relative to gravity. As these structures age and deteriorate, the brain receives less accurate information about the body's position in space, making it difficult to maintain balance, especially when performing sudden movements, such as turning or looking up. The story of 80-year-old Tom, a former tennis player, serves as a striking illustration of the interaction of these systems. An active person throughout his life, Tom began to notice unexplained stumbles, especially in unfamiliar surroundings or in low light. "I chalked it up to normal aging," he shared, "catching my toe on uneven pavement or misjudging the height of steps." However, a comprehensive examination revealed a number of factors contributing to his impaired balance. These included outdated glasses that did not correct for developing cataracts, significant hearing loss affecting vestibular function, and undiagnosed benign paroxysmal positional vertigo, BPPV, a common inner ear disorder. After updating his glasses, using hearing aids, and undergoing vestibular rehabilitation, Tom's condition improved significantly. "It was like someone turned the lights back on," he marveled. "I didn't realize how much important sensory information I was missing until it was restored." It is important to note that most age-related vision and vestibular problems are treatable. However, they are often ignored for years. Regular comprehensive eye exams, including not only basic vision testing but also assessment of depth perception, contrast sensitivity, and peripheral vision, can identify correctable problems such as cataracts, glaucoma, macular degeneration, or outdated eyeglass prescriptions. All of these factors play a crucial role in maintaining balance and preventing falls. Vestibular disorders such as benign paroxysmal positional vertigo, BPPV, labyrinthitis, or Meniere's disease are often successfully treated with specialized therapy when accurately diagnosed. There are certain warning signs that should prompt a visit to a specialist: frequent stumbles or loss of balance, especially in low-light conditions; difficulty judging the height of steps or curbs; sudden sensitivity to visually busy environments, such as crowded stores; episodes of dizziness, especially with head movements; a feeling of unsteadiness when walking; the need to feel walls to maintain balance in darkened rooms. Many older adults tend to attribute these manifestations to inevitable signs of aging, not realizing that they may indicate the presence of treatable conditions. Such neglect can have serious consequences. In situations where the eyes and inner ear transmit conflicting or inaccurate information to the brain, the systems responsible for maintaining balance are forced to work harder, relying on less reliable data, which significantly increases the risk of falls. However, there is good news. Addressing these issues can lead to significant improvements. Updating eyeglass prescriptions with a special emphasis on intermediate and near vision, which is crucial for navigating stairs and steps. Treating correctable eye conditions. Vestibular rehabilitation exercises. And, in some cases, the use of hearing aids, which often contribute to improved balance along with hearing, can collectively restore stability to a great extent. Modern solutions, such as improving lighting in the home. Especially the use of nightlights, applying contrasting tape to the edges of steps, and wearing glasses with yellow lenses to enhance contrast in low-light conditions, can provide additional support. It's important to understand that vision and inner ear health are not isolated issues. They are integral elements of the balance system, deserving just as much attention as muscle strength and flexibility. By actively caring for and improving the function of sensory systems, a person provides their brain with clear and accurate data needed to maintain balance. This comprehensive approach to balance, which includes strengthening muscles, developing proprioception, improving vision, and stimulating vestibular function, is the most effective way to protect against falls and related limitations in independence. Don't let correctable sensory impairments undermine stability, as solutions to this problem are readily available.